The first room, where the addiction tore down the first vision that was given. God spoke, but ears were closed and eyes were only enticed to see unveiled body parts on dimly lit screens. One mother, no father, one sibling, separated by malnourished walls that were too small to conceal the zeal for late night self-satisfaction. Awakened when feet rolled off the bedside or kicked the table legs in the living room, 3 a.m. and nature called. And so I went to pitch a tent on the toilet seat with headphones low so no one knows. But I knew and was aware of the mind and its soul and its outer shell, while Satan kept showing me images of how to abuse their proper uses in hell. I fell deeper into an abyss of craving, changing what was meant to be a good piece of art into a shattered sculpture made up of dead pieces of skin carved and marked. Fire-ignited bud smoke then became cologne on my coat. Glossy eyes then told lies to my brother. And blackened lips then couldn't even kiss my own mother, 'cause dead soul wondering why he's kept alive unhappy while happily volunteering to commit suicide with his mind. Not actually slitting his wrist, but blowing his brain out with a spliff, itching when the forbidden women visits. Just to make a mockery of the failed attempts to tempt and be tempted, and to restricting them from slipping into the first. And then, the second room, where signs of repentance came knocking at the door, where silent tears from crying to God floods the bathroom floor. Sure now that there's more to life than what sizzles the dermis, nervously learning those hard lessons from hands-on scantrons. When a quick abortion visit murders a baby, then surrounded around a round table smoking angel dust with a pregnant lady. All of us, knowing we're poisoning each other, sipping from each other's chalice, maliciously putting more burden on each other's baggage as if we're lord of each other's physical framework. She's the reason I found doom in my room, yet we still honeymooned in a tomb at noon and beyond. And as her flowers bloomed, that's when my powers oozed. Inevitably losing my identity when sensation became too much to handle. No longer able to please or be pleased with ease, Jesus demonstrated the holiness of the body when the Word became flesh. And yes, making the lame walk the walk when he walked among men like me. Freeing them from self-bondage by honoring the Father with his body, laying his life down, not on a bed, but on a cross, raised in between two thieves who neither earned or deserved new life. But one was granted access into paradise immediately after closing his eyes for the last time in this dimension. And as Christ was resurrected from the dead, I resurrected with him. Amen. Till the slow leaking carcass I lived in was demolished and rebuilt by the owner. He who knew who I'd become before my parents even knew they'd have a son. I'm renewed now. Although the unwilling thorn still clenched in my flesh humbles me to fall to my knees in prayer to a God who knows me well. Nevertheless, I try to love my wife with lips that kiss out the word eternity on her limbs. Grounded to the three corners of love, Father, Son, and Spirit, mimicking the profound mystery of the physical Christ. Like the first time Adam laid eyes on Eve's figure, triggering a physical eruption of what it means to become one flesh. Bones interlocking tightly together with a touch as soft as a feather, whether breathing in or breathing out the smell of ourselves when actively worshiping God. The Creator's created creatures feature him in one room, one bed, the floor, and more, handing over ourselves to ourselves till God himself returns to alleviate the burns in our aching bodies, giving us flesh that remembers nothing of how the dominion of sin dimmed the openness of our spiritual by torturing us with the brokenness of our physical. From death to life, forever husband and wife in Christ. Amen.